Hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. This is a class apart. Mrs. Ygp Memorial Quiz 2022, Season 3 of this fascinating, celebrative initiative created by the Padma Seshadri Bal Bhavan Group of Schools. Created by them, literally the length and breadth of this nation, with schools coming in large numbers, have taken part, not to just have their children be part of a wonderful quiz such as this, but in their own way to pay a tribute to a great educator. We are indeed delighted that over the last 2 seasons and the quarterfinals that you have witnessed, the level of this quiz has been rising and rising consistently. The stage is set for the top 16 from across this nation to battle with each other for a place in the big final. Well, Rashmi will take you through these semi-finals and identify those 4 worthy national finalists. Enjoy watching it as much as I will be keen to know who the finalists are going to be. But for now, please welcome Ms. Rashmi Furtado.
Welcome to each and every one of you to the 4th and the final semi-final of a class apart Mrs. Ygp Memorial Quiz. This is the 4th one, which means I have identified 3 winners of the semi-finals who have made it through to the grand finale. This quiz, of course, is brought to you by the PSBB group of institutions in collaboration with TCS ION and Grey Caps Knowledge Tribe. A beautiful tribute to a great educator from our country, Mrs. Ygp. This quiz is completely about India. India is the context for this quiz, and these girls, these kids here today, they are among the top 16 of the country. They have crossed multiple hurdles to reach this semi-final. So let's quickly get to know who they are, and then we will get into the semi-final itself. First up, we have Vanya from Pawar Public School, Mumbai. Following her is Kavya from Center Point School, Nagpur. Up next is Anumegha from Thakur Public School, Mumbai. Completing this lineup here today is Monal from St. Anthony's School, Udaipur. Sort of looks like a West Zonal final here today, but believe me, audience, we have had children taking part from all the corners of our country. If you haven't checked or gone through the quarterfinals, please do so. Interesting kids, or rather amazing kids, taking part with great knowledge about our country. For now, let's continue with the semi-final. Rules of the game. I have 4 rounds for you here today. All the questions in these 4 rounds are on the buzzers. Single attempt per question only, multiple attempts are not allowed. Your scoring pattern is +50 if you get it right and a -50 if you get it wrong. Remember that. The most important of all, only the winner from this semi-final will make it through to that grand finale that's coming up. It's very important at this juncture that you win this quiz, because only then will you make it to the grand finale. Alright, rest of the rules along with the fair play protocols have been explained to our contestants already, so I will not get into it. Let us start with the first round of our quiz here today, a class apart Mrs. Ygp Memorial Quiz. She is historic. Here we go. Alright, contestants, I have images coming up for you on your screen. Along with the images, I have corresponding questions. Now, it's up to you on when you decide to press the buzzer. But remember, the moment you press the buzzer, I stop reading the question. A word of caution, what you may see on screen may not necessarily be the answer or the question I'm asking you. It may only serve as a clue. So you can hedge, take the risks that you think you can take and decide for yourselves, all right? Good luck to all of you. Remember, the winner makes it through. All right, the buzzers are open. Careful with the buzzers, you know how sensitive they are. Let's start with the first question of the semi-final coming up on your screen. Here we go. Identify this princess from the Vidarbha kingdom. From the Vidarbha kingdom, I said, identify this princess. Oh, 5 seconds of time is up. I expected buzzers to go off quickly on this one. The answer I was looking for, I'm sure you have heard of this name but somehow couldn't connect it with the question and the image on your screen. Damayanti, the answer I was looking for. Damayanti, I'm very sure you all have gone through this before but somehow are stressing yourselves out a little too much. Don't do that. Relax, just enjoy the quiz. You'll do well. Let's move on. Question number 2 coming up on your screen. Here we go. In which city of India would you find this? Anumegha, go ahead.
Delhi.
Absolutely right. Getting a plus 50 on that one. New Delhi or Delhi is also okay. Plus 50 to Anumegha. This is the memorial that was built after the Indo-Pak War in 1971. She's absolutely right and she gets a plus 50. The Amar Jawan Jyoti there. The Jyoti of course is not visible but this is the Amar Jawan Jyoti. Let's move on. Question number 3 on your screens now. Identify the oldest and the highest Indian literary award presented annually. Monal, go ahead.
It's Sahitya. It's Gyanpith Award. Gyanpith Award.
Plus 50. Plus 50. She quickly corrected herself. Jnanpith Award, the answer I was looking for. Monal getting a plus 50 on that one, ladies and gentlemen. We have, of course, studied about Jnanpith Award when we have studied about different poets and authors all through our schooling. We know what the Jnanpith Award is. Monal getting a plus 50 on that one. Let's move on. Question number 4 on your screens now. Identify the former president of India. Anumegha, go ahead.
Prakruti.
You have to repeat, Anumegha. Quickly.
Prakruti Nali Ahmed.
Getting a negative on that one, Anumegha. You may think you know the answer correctly. You haven't said it correctly. I cannot give you a plus 50 on that. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad. Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad, the answer I was looking for. The 5th president of India hailing from Assam. All right, getting a negative on that one is Anumegha. This is the semi-final. I have to be stricter with the rules, ladies and gentlemen. I need clear answers. Let's move on. The last question of this round coming up on your screen now. Identify the revolutionary best known for assassinating General Dyer. Monal, go ahead.
Sardar Udham or Udham Singh.
Plus 50 to you. Absolutely right. General Dyer, as we know him for the massacre that happened in Jallianwala Bagh, Sardar Udham Singh is the one who assassinated General Dyer. Monal getting a plus 50 on that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me quickly tell you where our contestants stand. Scores as of now. Scores at the end of the first round, ladies and gentlemen. Anumegha taking a negative there, so she's back on nil. Along with Kavya and Vanya, both of them are yet to score. Monal doing well. She's careful about where she's pressing her buzzers. She's on 100 points, leading as of now. The reason I'm saying as of now is because I have 3 more rounds to go. Tables turn, situation changes. Let's see what happens. Let's move into the second round of A Class Apart Mrs. Ygp Memorial Quiz. She is beautiful. Here we go. All right. So in this round, you will have multiple clues that will appear on your screen. I have an example for you right there. There is an image and there are circles that indicate the number of letters in the answer. You have to be very careful when you give me the answer because the image might only be a clue. For example, here the answer is Mysore. The image, the palace represents Mysore, okay? So be mindful about the number of letters or the number of circles that you see on your screen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the first question of this round on the screen, here we go. Identify this classical dance from this character. Monal, go ahead.
Kathakali.
Plus 50 to you. Absolutely right. This is the attire or the costume of the female character of the Kathakali dance, which is of course from Kerala. Monal getting a plus 50 on that one. She's absolutely right. Let's move on to the second question on your screen. Here we go. This is the Hawa. Anumega, go ahead.
Rajasthan.
Minus 50. Minus 50. She did not wait for me to complete the question, ladies and gentlemen. My question. This is the Hawa Mahal built using pink material. What is this material? The answer I was looking for is sandstone. Sandstone is what I was looking for as an answer. This happens, quizzers sometimes get a little impatient. They're eager to score, so that is when this happens. But no problem, we still have many more questions to go. She can make it up. Let's move on to the third question of this round on your screen. Here we go. Identify India's only ape species found south of Brahmaputra and east of the Dibang rivers in the northeast Indian states. They were earlier confused to be two different species, but scientists have now confirmed that it's only one species. All right, taking too long, time's up, ladies and gentlemen. The contestants are taking more than 5 seconds. The answer I was looking for, the Hoolock gibbon. The Hoolock gibbon is the answer I was looking for. All right, let's move on to the fourth question coming up on the screen. Here we go. Identify the Indian musical instrument. Go ahead, Anumega.
Santur.
Plus 50. Plus 50 on this one to Anumegha. Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma, of course, the one who was very, very well known to play this particular instrument. He popularized this instrument actually, Santur. Let's move on. The last question of this round on the screen. Here we go. Identify the state from the living root bridges. Oh, no one going on the buzzer. Vanya, go ahead in the nick of time.
Meghalaya.
Plus 50 on that. She's absolutely right. Meghalaya, the answer I was looking for. These are the living root bridges from Meghalaya. If you ever visit Meghalaya, please go see these. They are a sight to see. Meghalaya giving Vanya the plus 50. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed 2 rounds. We are at the halfway mark of the semi-final. Let me tell you where our contestants stand. With that last plus 50 that Vanya got, she's on 50 points. Kavya and Anumegha are both on nil. Anumegha gaining and losing there. Monal is doing very well. She's careful about what question she picks to answer, does not take unnecessary risks, and also keeps an eye on the score if I'm not wrong. She's on 150 points. Well, we have had, I've quizzed with multiple quizzers from Udaipur, and most of the girls tend to do well from Udaipur. I don't know why that is so, but when it comes to the school level quizzing, I have seen girls from Udaipur doing very good. All right, let's move on. No pressure there, Monal. I hope you still continue to do well. Let's move on. The third round of this quiz, she is inspiring. Here we go. Just like the first round of the quiz, you will have images that will come up on your screen, and I have corresponding questions. Rest of the rules are all the same. All right? Let's start with the first question coming up. Here we go. Identify this member of parliament. Anumegha, go ahead.
Rajivardhan Singh Rathore. Rajivardhan Singh Rathore.
Getting a plus 50 on that. Hailing from Rajasthan, he is Rajivardhan Singh Rathore. Anumegha getting a plus 50 on that, ladies and gentlemen. He is, of course, the Olympic silver medalist. That is how we know him better in our country. Let's move on. Question number 2 on your screen. Here we go. Identify the person. Monal, go ahead.
It's Salim Ali, the Birdman of India.
Plus 50 to you. You're absolutely right. It's sort of I tend to make this links and connects, ladies and gentlemen. Monal is actually the name of a bird and she gets the answer right for Dr. Salim Ali. Plus 50 on that one. The Birdman of India giving Monal the plus 50. Moving on. Question number 3 on your screen. Here we go. Identify this person. Anumekha, go ahead.
Satyajit Ray.
Plus 50. Famous author, filmmaker from our country, a Bharat Ratna recipient, Satyajit Ray giving Anumekha the plus 50. Alright, let's move on. Question number 4 on the screen. Here we go. Identify the organization engaged in grooming youth. Anumekha, go ahead.
Indian Army.
Taking a negative on this one, minus 50 to Anumekha. The question, ladies and gentlemen, identify the organization engaged in grooming the youth of the country into disciplined and patriotic citizens. The answer I was looking for, NCC, National Cadet Corps. Of course, it is the youth wing of the Indian Armed Forces. She's not wrong with the connect or the association that she made, but the answer I was looking for is NCC. All right, let's move on. The last question of this round coming up on your screen. Here we go. Identify the Indian-born American economist. Anumekha, go ahead.
Abhijit Banerjee.
What is he known for, Anumekha? Do you know?
He won the Nobel Laureate Prize for Economy.
All right, she's correct there. He's an Indian-born economist or Indian-American economist, and along with his wife Esther Duflo, they actually became the 6th married couple to jointly win a Nobel Prize in economics. Abhijit Banerjee giving her that plus 50. Ladies and gentlemen, we have completed 3 rounds of this quiz. Let me quickly tell you where our contestants stand. Vanya is on 50, Kavya is yet to score, Anumekha on 100, Monal doing well with 200 points. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I still wouldn't be able to hedge and tell who would make it through to the grand finale. Let's see what happens. I still have one more round to go. The last round of this quiz, she is a class apart. Here we go. All right, girls. The rules of the game are the same. There are no changes at all. One change that you will see is that nothing will appear on your screen. You have to listen to what I have to say very carefully. So please remember, if you press the buzzer, I stop reading out the question. That means with no clue on the screen, you have to figure out the answer with whatever I have mentioned, okay? It's still your choice on when you want to press the buzzer. Good luck to all of you. Only the winner makes it through. All right, the first question of this round, here we go. Which currency note features an illustration of the Mars Orbiter mission spacecraft or the Mangalyaan? Anumekha, go ahead.
The 2,000 rupee note.
Plus 50. She's absolutely right. The 2,000 rupee note is what I was looking for as an answer. Anumekha is slowly getting closer to Monal. Let's see what happens. The second question of this round, here we go. Whose birthday on 31st October is celebrated as the National Unity Day in our country? Anumekha, go ahead.
Vallabhbhai Patel.
Absolutely right, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the answer I was looking for. Anumekha gets another 50 on that, ladies and gentlemen. And with that 50, if I'm not wrong, Anumekha and Monal are both on 200 points each. I have 3 more questions to go. Even at this point, if Vanya gets the 3 questions right, there could be a three-way tiebreaker that can happen. Unless Monal or Anumekha either or gain on the next 3 questions, and let's see what happens if that happens here. All right, the third question, here we go. Which Indian broadcaster has the motto, Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Anumeka, go ahead.
Doordarshan.
Plus 50. Plus 50 on that one to her. The penultimate question of this quiz. Manjira, Pranhita, Indravati and Sabri are all tributaries of which river? Oh, none of them going on this one. Okay, time's up. I cannot give them more than 5 seconds to press the buzzer. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the longest rivers in our country, Godavari, the answer I was looking for. These are all the tributaries of the river Godavari. The final question of this quiz. If Monal wants to at least have a tiebreaker, she will have to get this question right. Let's see what happens. The last question. All right, ready on the buzzers? Here we go. After which Indian mathematician and astronomer was India's first? Anumeka, go ahead.
Aryabhatta.
Aryabhatta, she says she doesn't even know what my question would conclude into. Anumeka is a good quizzer. She has, if all of you have been watching and following A Class Apart Mrs. Ygp Memorial Quiz, you would have seen how she has performed in the last 2 years of this quiz. Sometimes experience helps and sometimes it does not. In this case, experience helped. Plus 50 to Anumeka. Aryabhatta, the answer I was looking for, ladies and gentlemen. My question would conclude into saying India's first satellite named. Aryabhatta is what I was looking for as an answer. Anumeka getting a plus 50 on that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the final scores. Vanya on plus 50, Kavya on nil. Monal put up a very good fight with 200 points there. She was consistent with her game if you ask me, but the final round probably became a little difficult for her to tackle, or maybe she was slightly slower on the buzzers. Because she is a good quizzer, I somehow have a feeling Anumeka's experience with the buzzers got her through in the final round. Anumeka with 300 points makes it through to that grand finale of A Class Apart Mrs. Ygp Memorial Quiz. Alright, Anumeka from Thakur Public School has won the semi-final. Congratulations to you, Anumeka.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here today on this fourth or the final semis that we have had in the Class Apart Mrs. Ygp Memorial Quiz. Now we await for the grand finale that's coming up. We have identified all our finalists and you have seen how they have played. I would urge you all to go back and watch their journey from the quarter-final. Amazing journey, amazing quizzes that we have had this year. All of them well prepared and doing extremely well. I can't wait for the grand finale and I really hope I see all of you there. And good luck to all the finalists. Anumeka, I wish you all the best. Do well in this, on the grand finale that's coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I will see you soon in the grand finale. You take care.